Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a video and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Today, I'm delighted to welcome a professional turned entrepreneur and a runner from Mumbai, Pushpa Bhatt. Pushpa, welcome to the show. Pushpa is a practicing weight loss nutritionist. She started running at the age of 50 and has run countless half marathons, 10 full marathons, including Ladakh, New York, and Berlin. Before that, she was the senior HR manager for 13 years with Maersk India, and she owns a spa and a salon. So, Pushpa, what would you say are three key milestones in your life?
I think the first will have to be my time with Maersk,
Mm-hmm.
and that was for about 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was heading compensation and benefits
Mm-hmm.
and was managing about 50 expatriates. Long time, 13 years, traveled all over the world
Mm-hmm.
for training and I was also deputed in Jordan for recruitment assignment, seen the world with Maersk.
Wonderful.
And it was a very nice time, made, learned a lot, made lots of friends.
So now let's talk a little bit about your journey in the area of fitness. After a long corporate career, what made you move to fitness as a career?
Fitness as a career wasn't a plan,
Mm-hmm.
but as I'm a runner and I was always interested in food, I mean, it was only logical that I wanted to learn more about it.
Mm-hmm.
So last January, I enrolled for a nutrition foundation course from the American College of Sports Medicine.
Okay.
Completed it. Then I went on to do my weight loss management course. Then I started practicing. Then I realized that I'm getting lots of clients who have medical issues. So I said, why not medical nutrition? So got into medical nutrition which is still, I mean, I'm still learning. I'll finish it in May. But in between, I did a keto training. So I can even prescribe keto diets because keto is the latest one,
Right.
So that's how I forayed into fitness.
Agreed.
Nutrition.
I'll come to nutrition, but let me ask you a few more questions on running. When did you start running, and what was your motivation?
I started running when I was about 47. Standard Chartered Marathon came to India, and lots of my colleagues were running. And they used to always say, I ran to 10 kilometers, I ran 15 kilometers. So sounded very exciting. I enrolled for the dream run. And then I realized that it's so hard, I did my 7 kilometers in about 58 minutes. And I really love the crowd energy, the, enthusiasm, the whole atmosphere was so charged, hundreds and thousands of people. So that caught my attention. And then I said, let me start really running. And then I realized it's very hard. It's very challenging. Couldn't run for more than, let's say, 2 kilometers at a stretch. So I kept at it till I ran for 1 whole hour. And once I ran that 1 whole hour, the first 1 hour straight without any breaks, that was the turning point because I felt so good, I think the endorphins, and it was, it was such a beautiful feeling. I think it's like a sense of achievement, I can say, It's such a nice feeling that I kept on practicing, downloaded few schedules of half marathon from the net, kept on doing half marathons. And in 2014, my daughter literally prodded me to do the full marathons. And once I started doing my full marathons, I never looked back.
Wow.
Then I went into ultra, which is like more than 50 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've known many people who run marathons, and a lot of people have started when they were slightly older, like you did at 47. But, tell me, for someone who has not done a lot of exercise, what kind of preparation do you need to be able to run even half a marathon? You are doing ultra now.
Yeah, I would say that just wear a comfortable pair of shoes and comfortable clothing and just start running.
Mhm.
Let's say 100 meters, which is the distance between two poles, electrical poles. Then walk 100 meters and then continue like that for some time. Then make it 200 meters run and 100 meters walk. And like that, you just continue, download some, what you call, keep a aim of, let's say, 5 kilometers
Mhm.
to start with. And keep practicing, let's say about 6 months, then move on to probably 10 kilometers. And like in 6 months, you should be able to do 21 kilometers
Wow.
with good, what you call it, hill runs and some speed intervals. You should be able to manage for half run, half
Mm.
marathon. You should be able to manage.
Wonderful. And what does marathon running do to your mind? I mean, and to the work that you do?
Marathon running, I think it just, I think, completes me,
Okay.
makes me feel alive,
Uh-huh.
frustrates me because every morning is a struggle, getting up in the morning. It's a big challenge,
Mhm.
even I've been getting up for last 20 years.
Mhm.
Uh, and sometimes even like very odd hours, like 3 o'clock, 1:30
Mhm.
in the night,
Mhm.
depending on how long the practice run is.
Mhm.
Every time, your mind is telling you it's okay. I mean,
Good.
why? Skip it one day,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that struggle, and then you're overcoming the struggle. And then at times, we travel. For example, many times I drive to NCP, and
Mhm.
sometimes, you just want to sleep in the car.
Correct.
So it's a mind and body struggle every single day.
Very interesting.
No two runs are different at the same. No two runs are same.
Mhm.
Uh, every run is hard. Every run has its challenges. You don't know what to expect.
Mhm.
End of any run, you really don't know what's going to happen, how well you're going to do it, or what are going to be your challenges.
Mhm.
It's a very different,
Fascinating.
exciting experience.
Fascinating. And when you go for these big marathons, and you've run some of these marathons like Ladakh, New York, Berlin, how do you prepare yourself before a big run?
Yeah, I have to at least train for 4 months, and Daniel is my coach, online coach. I run with Striders, but then I have a customized training which Coach Dan does it for me, and we is into the run schedule for about 6 weeks. After that, there'll be heel repeats
Mm-hmm.
for another, let's say, 6 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and speed intervals. And then the next 6 weeks it will be more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the heel repeats and different kind of interval trainings like
Mm-hmm.
fartlek or tempo runs. And last 15 days will be tapering.
Okay.
So we'll taper, and that, I mean, leads to the race day.
Very interesting. And I've often wondered, why does everyone want to go and run in Boston or New York or Berlin? Is it just the prestige of it, or is it something different?
I think it is, of course, it's a prestigious medal, six
Mm.
majors, no doubt about it, and each has its own criteria, qualification.
Mm.
I think it is, gaining experiences, I would say, also running the city on the foot.
Mm.
It's a very different feeling. I
Mm.
will tell you about New York.
Mm.
New York, you are like getting up at 2 o'clock in the night, then you're traveling to Staten Island, you're taken by the bus, then there you wait for hours, and actually the run starts at 11 o'clock. So you're waiting for your corral to open,
Mm.
and then you hit the road, and the crowd energy is unimaginable. I
Mm.
think every other, I mean, 50% of the New Yorkers on the road
Mm.
cheering you, calling you
Wow.
by your name.
Mm.
On the church steps, there are choirs,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a country music. You just name kind of a music, and there
Mm.
are bands playing all over, people calling your names, offering you drinks,
Right.
clapping for you,
Mm.
and it's awesome. It's totally
Fantastic.
awesome.
Fantastic. And
Yeah.
One more question for you before I move to nutrition.
Yeah,
You did tell me that, how do you practice, go between two poles and then then walk, etc.
yeah.
But for senior citizens, and so as I say, as I maybe say 60, 65 plus, is that
Hmm.
also a good age to start running? And if yes, how should they prepare?
I think the same, no, as
Hmm.
a 50-year-old. You just take it easy initially, see how, I mean, what your knees are saying. You definitely need a strong body if
Hmm.
you want to run long distances.
Hmm.
But for a distance, for a fitness, let's say 5K or
Hmm.
a 10K, I think you can manage, with about 2.5 months
Hmm.
training, which includes your speed and heels. Yeah, I think you should be able
Very
to run
nice.
even at the age of 65. I
Very
think
nice.
I am going to be 65 this year, and I think I have become better
Hmm.
than what I was at 47. I had bone density issues, and I had knee issues, and I had back problem. I don't think so. I have any of that problem, and I am almost 12 to 15 kgs lighter than what I used to be.
Amazing.
And my muscle mass is more, and I have no bone density complaints.
Hmm.
So I think it works well. Even you can start running at 65.
Hmm. And how many times do you run every week?
I run about 6 times a week,
And your
and
normal day.
Monday is a rest day. Monday
Okay.
is a rest day.
And on a normal, the 6 days a week, how much distance do you run?
I complete about 65 to 70 kilometers in a week.
Okay.
Sundays are normal. Sundays are long runs, which are about 25 kilometers. Can
Mhm.
be more depending if we are closer to the race day.
Mhm.
On Thursday, we do speed intervals. So that's about 12 to 15 kilometers. Otherwise, on an average, it is 7 to 10 kilometers per
Amazing.
run.
Amazing. So, Pushpa,
Yeah.
now let's talk a little bit about medical nutrition. You
Yeah.
did start talking about it in the early part of our conversation.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted to discuss running
Yeah.
first. Tell me, what is medical nutrition?
Medical nutrition is it's a nutrition for people who are challenged with metabolic syndrome, or who have heart ailments,
Mm-hmm.
or who have diabetes, or who have thyroid. They require special kind of foods
Mm-hmm.
than what normal people eat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about that, because for example, sometimes your kidneys are not functioning well, or for example your gallbladder is missing. So then you have to adjust. For example, a person whose gallbladder is removed, he cannot have too much of fat, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Mm-hmm.
you have to devise a diet which works around those requirements. It's very exciting, very complex actually,
Okay.
because each disease has so much. I've learned so much, I cannot tell you. I am not a science graduate, but I learned so much about anatomy and how our body works.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Okay.
And what nutrition can do to aid
Hmm.
to
So
it.
again, there is another school of thought which says that why do I need to have any additional supplements or any additional nutrients if I'm eating well?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
See, I think eating well is an Indian concept, I would feel, where
Yeah.
we end up eating lots of carbs.
Hmm.
We are mainly chapati and rice eaters, depending on whatever region, it's Punjab or South
Hmm.
India or
Hmm.
whatever. And we don't eat good carbs. We don't eat a lot of proteins. So we need to have good fats also. Fats are also good.
Hmm.
So supplements are very important. For
Hmm.
example, there is a we use a lot of functional foods.
Hmm.
Functional foods like haldi, for example, or chia seeds, or adrak, for example, ginger. So
Hmm.
these are very good foods which can take care of some of your nutritional challenges. Methi is very good for insulin.
Hmm.
So, there are so many foods, which you can use as a functional foods to supplement your regular diet.
Hmm.
That it fills in the gaps.
Interesting.
That,
And
that
and do our nutrition needs keep changing as we get older?
Absolutely, because I'll tell you, as we age, some of the people can't even swallow food. There is
Mm.
a
Yeah.
motility of GI tract.
Hmm.
People cannot swallow hard food. For example, they need softer foods.
Sure.
They need more calcium, or they need what to call it, more complex carbs.
Mm.
You know, so nutritional needs are very different from a young person to a older person.
Mm. And
Definitely.
and for men and women of the same age, their nutrition needs are very different also.
I think men can eat the same thing, but probably little more. But
Okay.
because I think the nutritional
Same.
there is no difference
There's no
between.
physiological
No, no, I don't think so.
difference between.
I don't think so.
Okay, very interesting. And tell me, how are the younger people, the millennials and the Gen Zs, how are they changing the whole concept of fitness and nutrition?
The young ones know the importance of diet. They know the importance of fitness. They know the importance of nutrition.
Hmm.
But they are so busy
Hmm.
doing their stuff, working, that they, and this, there's a lot of stress. Then when I was working, of course, my job was stressful. But then I think today it is really, really very stressful,
Hmm.
you know, and they know everything, but I don't think so. They have time,
Hmm.
to, for example, to get up, to think about circadian rhythm, to go to bed on time. They're too busy partying on the weekends,
Okay.
So they know, but I'm not sure how much they're able to do it. And
Right.
these delivery apps, for example, so they are the major issue. The food is accessible, the junk food is accessible at your fingertips.
Hmm.
So it's very challenging for
Hmm.
them, I feel.
Interesting.
Very challenging. They know
Very,
everything, but it is very challenging. The
very
whole thing
interesting.
is very challenging.
Very interesting. So, Pushpa, I'm now going to move to the last segment of our conversation, which are some questions for you personally. My first question to you is, after a successful corporate career, after, being such a successful runner, now getting into medical nutrition, from where you are today, what does success mean to Pushpa?
Success definitely doesn't mean money.
I agree.
And I don't work, so success doesn't mean promotion or a good appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
Success means to motivate someone,
Mm-hmm.
to inspire someone, to touch someone's life, to make difference in somebody's life. When your client calls you very excitedly saying that, oh, I lost, so much pounds or kilos, or I'm able to run, or there was a client of mine who was going for a bariatric surgery, but then she opted out because somebody else recommended her to me. And then, she says that I'm able to do some yoga asanas, or I'm able to walk a little better. I think it feels like a success.
Wonderful.
It feels like a success.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And a follow up question to that is, who or what inspires you?
Anyone.
Mhm.
Simple things of life, ordinary stuff, regular, normal people, people who stand up, for what they believe in. Ultra runners,
Mhm.
trail runners. Trail running is so hard. I have no idea how people run for 24 hours,
Mhm.
with injuries on their feet, bleeding feet,
Mhm.
uprooted nails. And, they have so much adversity going against them, and they still keep at it. So that's so inspiring,
Mhm.
very inspiring, very motivating.
Fantastic. Uh, and my next question to you is that, you are continuously running and doing more and more things. How do you set goals for yourself?
I was doing a half marathon for a long time, and then I happened to come into full marathon scene. And then, the progression to ultra was very, very natural.
Mhm.
It was I just didn't have question in my mind. I was so inspired by some of the ultra runners that I made. And I think ultra also happened to me because I was in Ladakh when Khardungla was happening.
Okay.
And on the day, a day, Khardungla happens on Friday
Mm-hmm.
and Ladakh full marathon happens on Sunday. So we were in the market and we saw these runners, struggling and coming after finishing their 72 kilometers. And it was such an unimaginable thing, that when you go up, you get sick. And these guys have like literally run the whole distance,
Mm-hmm.
So very, very, very inspiring. And that's how, the one thing leads to another. For example, I did New York, and then the Berlin happened, and then Chicago was to happen last year. So there's always something or the other coming up to challenge you
Look
or
forward to
to
also. Yeah.
experience.
Fantastic. So, Pushpa, I have time for two more questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
My next question is on failure. In fact, I've just got a new book that has come out on failure.
Yeah,
And I've often said that parents in India, and you're a parent, I'm a parent, you know, our parents also didn't tell us these things, but Indians, or for that matter, South Asians, don't teach children it's okay to fail. We're
yeah,
always told first in class, head of the line, etc., etc., and that manifests it. And you're an HR person, that manifests itself in our behavior patterns.
yeah.
Yet we fail and we learn. So my question to you is, what are some of your learnings from some of your mistakes?
I will only talk about Khardungla because it's very close to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I have lots of stories,
Mm-hmm.
failures, but this one is really close to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I was 63 when I did my Khardungla 72 kilometers run at
Wow.
18,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I had only run 3 ultra marathons, which
Mm-hmm.
was like Tata Ultra. And this was my first distance, which was more than 50 kilometers. And I started preparing in May 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did not leave anything, left to be done, left undone. In terms of preparation, I used to get up from my house. I used to start running around 3:45, not 3:45, 4:15. I used to reach Borivali National Park at 5 o'clock when they used to open the gate. I used to enter the gate sharp 5 o'clock, and then I used to run on Gandhi Tekdi for 3 hours, 4 hours, like a crazy person. I used to run. I used to run for 3 hours, 4 hours, and I was repeating hills continuously. So a lot of preparations happened, and my friends also supported on a lot of my runs. Khardungla happens on Friday, and we are taken there a day previous by bus, and we are supposed to be staying there. But then you hardly get any sleep. You sleep around 9:30, but since the run starts at 3 o'clock in the morning, you get up at 1 o'clock, and because there is a electrical power issues, you have to wear your clothes, you have to wear your bib, and you have to sleep. So you're actually not sleeping very well. And then the run starts at 3 o'clock. They get a little breakfast, but you're hardly able to eat because from 9,000 feet you have traveled to 13,000 feet. So there are altitude issues also happening. And then 3 o'clock you start. There are 4 cutoffs totally, including the final cutoffs. The run starts for about lasts for about 14 hours, and you have to meet all those cutoffs. The first one is very tough. It's for 8 hours. In 8 hours you have to complete 32 kilometers. So when I went to Ladakh, I was there for 10, 12 days, and I met so many people, young people. I was 63. I met people who were like 30, 40 years, and they had not been able to complete it in previous years. This was their third attempt or second attempt. And then that little bit psyched me, saying that, oh my God, what am I doing? I have practiced, and I practiced well, but then this was a different perspective. And what happened is the first 32 kilometers, I went very slow. I allow my heart to what to call it accelerate.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my biggest mistake,
Mm-hmm.
because I was able to manage the whole run without any issues,
Mm-hmm.
but I overshot the outer limit, the race limit by 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But I completed the run,
Wow.
and it was an experience of lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot I cannot just tell you the what I have experienced. It's not a regular race. There are no milestones. There are no people cheering you for miles. You are walking or running together alone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so hard. It
Mm-hmm.
is so hard. The walking stations are 5 kilometers away, and your body is not able to keep the food down.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of issues, and it's cold. There is a blazing sun,
Mm-hmm.
and then you come down, and then you realize that you overshot the what to say it by 4 minutes, so you don't get the medal. But
Right.
then my learning was immense.
Ah.
I mean, I think I had to complete it on time. Maybe I would have been a different person today. But
Mm-hmm.
just because I didn't complete, I had such a different view at I mean, analyzing the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing and learning from it. I think,
Fantastic.
yeah, I'm going to do it this year anyway.
Okay, terrific. Well,
Yeah.
good luck for
If
it.
it happens, yeah, it
Good luck.
happens. I'm going to. I've already registered.
Oh, good luck.
So in 2021, hopefully, I will be doing it.
Fantastic. Pushpa, now we run out of time. So thank you
Yeah.
very much. It's been such a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you
Yeah.
for taking me through this incredible running journey that you
Yeah.
have started and you're on. It's very,
Yeah.
very motivating. And I'm sure many people who listen to you and me talking may just, take up running because of
Yeah.
what you just said. Thank you again and good luck for
Yeah.
Ladakh.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.